Jake Giffin Podcast. Your virtual lab for inside-out transformation into the man God intended you to be. Here, we use modern psychological concepts and spiritual tools to help you align your mind and machine to dominate your God-given mission. So put your purses down and your excuses away. Here's your coach, Jake Giffin.
This is a great day. It's a great day. Welcome to the podcast. Today, look, the human brain is infinitely complex. What we know is that you go through different phases of life in which there's an evolutionary change and micro-evolutionary change. You are adapting not only to your environment, but you're adapting to just being a mature human being. And when you get to 30s, you still don't quite know what you're going to do. You're on the path of building something. You get into your 40s and maybe before 35, let's say 35. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Go 35 years old and you are in the midst of figuring out what it is that you're going to spend your life doing. Right? There's a plan. Now you have some target, you know kind of who you are, where you've developed, the lessons you've learned, and now you know what you want to do with your life. And you set out a goal. You should always have goals. Goals are important. We can talk about that some other time, but right now goals are important. Now, why aren't you hitting those goals? That's the question. The question is why most people don't hit the goals that they strive for is because the person they are today and the person they were 20 years ago are two different people, right? We can agree with this. We can agree that who I am today, maybe who you are today, is different than who you were 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Completely different people. And certainly you're much different than you were when you were, who were you when you were a kid? 10, 12 years old or even younger. Now, why aren't people achieving the things that they want to achieve now? Now they have these clear, fairly lofty goals, a mission that they can visualize, they can taste and touch. I mean, they really know now. As we sit down with people and we say, what is it that you want? And we can lay out a target. And then we say, what's going to get in your way to achieving it? And maybe they don't even know yet. They know some of the things that they're going to do, some self-sabotage, but they don't know what the self-sabotage is. They don't know why they do it. And that's this episode, people. This is look, man, the guy you were 20 years ago, that guy is sabotaging you today because there are certain behaviors. Let's say there are certain beliefs and certain behaviors that guy had that for that time period served a purpose. It served him a purpose. And you can only define what that is. It's a negative behavior that served some kind of positive purpose. Maybe it was you drank too much. Maybe you started drinking when you were younger, and the positive intention of that behavior was to comfort you in times of stress, to give you some sense, or maybe it gave you some social credibility. Maybe you started drinking socially. And your ability to drink or your ability to pay for the drinks or your ability to whatever drinks gave you some social credibility, some structure, some security, some significance. If we're pointing to the reason why any people do anything, security, variety, significance, love, growth, contribution, those things are human necessities. It's what we're always striving for. How we strive for them and how we get them, well, that's different. But maybe you're buying drinks and I can outdrink you. you're getting significance, or maybe it's helping kill the pain of the trauma that you're going through at the time. Or maybe you just had all these voices in your head telling you what a shithole you were and all the things you couldn't do and all the things that you can't accomplish. And so you drank to quiet the voices. But now you've matured. Now you have mentors in your life that are facing forward and they're going for it, and you want to be like them, and you are on this road to being like them, to accomplishing, to leaving a legacy that you want to leave. And yet these behaviors still arrive. These behaviors still manifest themselves in your life, and they're a problem. That's because your old programming is affecting your current person, your current goals. It's sabotaging it. The programming that worked when you were 20 doesn't work now. But your body doesn't know the difference. Your flesh doesn't know the difference as to what's required and what isn't required. It doesn't understand that we've evolved. It doesn't understand that we've grown up. It doesn't understand that what I want now as a grown man is to achieve things, to leave some kind of mark, to serve people, to help people become better. Not just better people, but closer to God, seeking out what they're made, their purpose, their real life intention of existence is. All right, that's exciting. That's exciting to be able to help people do that. And yet there are things, programs, old programs in my life that are affecting how I move forward, or if I move forward, or how quickly I move forward. Now, maybe you can relate to this. Because maybe growing up, you grew up with maybe a scarcity of food. You didn't know when you were going to eat. You're always hungry. And now as an adult, anytime you have an opportunity to eat, you overeat. Why? Because subconsciously, you don't know what's happening. Is that old program when you were a kid is coming back on you, and subconsciously you're overeating because you don't know when you're going to eat next. You're still in a subconscious scarce mindset. Not that you're thinking about it consciously, it's subconsciously. It's old programming. It was wired. It was so ingrained in you when you were a kid that now it's absolutely hardwired. And you think, well, I want to lose weight, but I can't. I've never been able to lose weight. Why not? Well, maybe it's because you overeat subconsciously to try, because you don't know when you're going to eat again. Scarcity. That could be it. You could simply, and because of that, that can lead to a lot of other things. If you're talking about weight loss, that can lead to a lot of things. If you had a scarcity mindset, and that's hardwired in, and that's why you always clean your plate and you never waste food, and you never, heaven forbid, you throw away a half a cheeseburger from wherever. Right? That seems in your mind, at the core of your being, it seems like a violation of some kind of moral law. You don't know how to put the pieces together. Why can't I throw away this excess food? I don't need it. It's killing me, but I can't throw it away, and it's not going to reheat well, so I might as well eat it. And then you begin to develop this belief, I can't lose weight. I don't believe that I can lose weight. I've tried so many times to lose weight, and I can't. Maybe it is that you can't because those two things, the scarcity and the belief that you can't, well, look, you haven't proven that you can, right? Because every time you go down this road of trying to lose weight, you're still overeating because of the old programming, and that's giving you more calories than you burn in a day. That's clear. Burn more calories than you eat. And apart from any kind of physical, chemical abnormalities, you're going to lose weight. If you burn 3,000 calories a day and you only take in 1,800, guess what? You're going to lose weight. You don't have a choice. But these things layer themselves on top of each other and then cause you to think, well, I can't lose weight. I'm watching what I'm eating. I'm watching it from my plate all the way into my mouth. I'm watching the whole situation happen. I'm watching what I'm eating. These are all ways, so many ways that your past person, your old man or your old woman, the 20 years ago or 30 years ago person, the person you were, is hindering the person you're trying to become. That person's living in the 80s, man. You're living in the 21st century, trying to live the 21st century life, bro. Trying to get it all. Trying to get the house and the car. I'm trying to get in good shape. Guns, right? I'm trying to get all of that. But for some reason, I just can't seem to get it. Well, here's a little strategy. Let me show you how to tune in your mind a little bit. If I haven't rambled on far enough, let me give you the tools you need right now to start reprogramming your mind. And here's what's important. Acknowledge the behavior that you have. What behavior do you currently have that is a limiting behavior that you want to change? Now, you're going to want to close your eyes. You're going to want to relax. Really think about the behavior that you want to change. Put yourself in that behavior and ask the part of you and really get in touch with that part of you that's responsible for the behavior, the guy 20 years ago. Now what we're going to do is ask that part of you that's responsible for the behavior, is it okay if we have a talk? Can we have a talk about what this behavior is and what we're doing? And it's important at this point, as you are in the behavior in your mind, and you ask that old guy, is it okay if we talk? Listen for him in affirmative. See something in your mind's eye, hear something in your ears, feel something in your heart. Wherever that is, get the affirmation that it's ready to talk. Because this is important. Now, once that part of you that's responsible for the behavior is ready to talk, and it tells you it's ready to talk, give it a thumbs up and a thanks. Thanks, bro. I've been meaning to talk to you for a long time about this, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do until Jake got on his podcast and gave me these tools. And now I know that you're there. That's old programming. I got a question to ask you. That little voice is going to say, all right, what's up, dude? And you say, what is the positive intention of this behavior? What are you, the old man, trying to do for me through this behavior that's positive? That's a magic question. That's a magic question. You have to ask it. What are you, through this behavior, attempting to do for me with this behavior? What is the positive intention of this behavior? Write it down. Think about it. You got to remember it. Now, write it down. Once you have the positive intention, I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to comfort you. I'm trying to give you an abundance. I'm trying to, whatever the answer is, could be any number of things. Write down the positive intention. And then reconnect with your creative side and think and ask, what are 3 different ways, more positive ways that we could get the same positive intention? Let's say the positive intention is to protect you. What 3 ways could you protect me in the same way? with better behaviors and come up with 3. Then you're going to take one of the 3 that resonates with you the most. That is when you think of, you write a sentence of each of the 3. And then when you have the 3rd that really speaks to you, really resonates with the depths of your soul, give it another thumbs up. Go, thanks very much for showing me this. And then you're going to take that positive intention, that new positive intention, and you're going to overlay it in your mind on top of the old positive intention. You're going to collapse it. You're going to eclipse it. The way you're going to do this is you're going to think ahead. Maybe you'll think to the next instance where that old behavior would reveal itself. Move future in your mind to when that would reveal itself again. And then instead of doing the old behavior, layer on the new one. Do that in your mind instead of the old behavior. Instead. And embody it. Really live it out in your mind. See the colors. See the brightness of the pictures. What do you hear, see, feel in this environment now that you've layered over this new behavior with a more with the intention of doing the same thing the old intention did? Giving you comfort, let's say. Future pace it. Layer it on, eclipse the future. Do that, what I just said. And do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times in your mind. Your subconscious mind is going to tell you, if you allow it, what is the positive intention of the behavior that you're doing. Listen for the answer. Get it to give you 3 alternatives that suit your current person better. Take the best of those three choices, the thing that resonates with your soul the most, and then layer it on top of the old one in a future pace. I hope this makes sense to you guys, because this is your mind. Our minds have been programmed passively. We've been programmed passively. When we were kids, we learned that food was scarce. We learned that love was scarce. We learned that people were evil. Don't trust anybody. We learned different things that are underneath subconsciously screwing with our mindsets all the time. And now we have to choose. I mean, for goodness sakes, if you're in sales and you grew up in a house where people were talking about salespeople are scam artists and salespeople are, there's no good thing about salespeople. Salespeople are always just, salespeople are scammy. They're always trying to sell you something you don't need. Right? If you really respected that person who was saying that, you're gonna, and you go, oh, I think I want to be in sales, but I don't want to be in sales because I don't want to be that guy. And you may not even remember those conversations subconsciously. It doesn't resonate in your mind that you could be a good salesperson, because in order to be a good salesperson, somehow you have to fit into this box called scammy. Whatever your grandfather, your dad told you. So there are programs that have been inputted into you by accident that you're still operating from today. And you can replace those old programs with new ones. Nobody told you this in school. You can master your mind. You can indeed reprogram these old behaviors, these old limiting beliefs. You can reprogram your mind and take on a new pattern that will benefit you and will lead you to the future that you want. But you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to do the work. Really acknowledge and surrender yourself to the idea of the subconscious. Surrender yourself to the change process and be honest with where you are. Why are you doing what you are doing? What is the positive intention in what you're doing? There is a positive intention in it. Just got to figure out what that is and then replace it with something else. The Christians call this as I am, put off and put on. It's a typical concept in psychology today. Spoken 2,000 years ago by people who did not have a degree in psychology. Big surprise. Put off the old man, put on the new man. The old ways of thinking, the human, earthly ways of thinking. You can put on the new man, the mind of Christ. Now we put this in a biblical terms. We could put these in biblical sets, the fleshly mind and the spiritual mind, the animal mind and the spiritual mind, and we can do that. But even if you're not a Christian, these principles of psychology, specifically that which we use, NLP is not a psychology, but what we use, the tools we use in NLP are the reprogramming of behaviors. You don't have to reprogram yourself to do Christian behaviors, although what's the downside? You're going to love more, you're going to have more joy, you're going to have more peace and patience and kindness and more control over yourself. What is that? Is that bad? Is that somehow bad that you would have more control over yourself? Is that somehow bad? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Even so, I hope this was helpful. And I hope that in it being helpful, you would leave it. What is it? 5 stars. 5 stars and a review, a comment. A nice comment. Follow us on YouTube and do our Instagram and whatever else. But if you follow the podcast, you'll get the whole thing. The YouTube and the podcast. I mean, what else? What more could you have besides all those algorithms love it? And if you find this helpful, I hope you found this helpful. Until next time.
If you enjoyed this show, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. For more information about Jake, log on to jakegiffin.com and find him on all social media platforms. Until next time, peace and power be yours.